we made a wrong turn, and we're on a Disney jungle cruise through the Amazon with John Voight and Ice Cube.
We brought about J-Lo.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, J-Lo. This is the Wrong Turn podcast. Hey, Courtney, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We're going to jump right into it, where we interrupted our regularly scheduled programming because Courtney just had to watch Anaconda in lieu of all the J-Lo, what would you say, media that's been happening
media
lately?
frenzy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has gone into this little hole that J-Lo has been up to with the release of her music video movie, This Is Me Now, and then the documentary of the making of said movie. It's wild.
Isn't that weird though? Like I'm gonna make a long music video a la Purple Rain, a la Lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneously, I'm gonna release a documentary making of video because it's that good.
Yeah.
You know? So, just real quick, I'm gonna interrupt. It's we're doing this because real life horror, self delusion.
Yeah. Narcissism.
Yeah. This is what.
Yes, your real life horror.
So we're tapping into 1997's Anaconda. Please continue, Courtney. We have Courtney, our pop media correspondent here.
Well, I've had a lot of time on my hands recently. Life,
Mm-hmm.
but so that is why I ventured into this whole J-Lo drama because I was kind of like, oh, this is interesting, and then I watched it, and then I was like, I had to report to you. I was like, this is wild. And you watched a little bit of the documentary, and even you were like, I don't know what to do here. Like,
No.
And then that's when I brought up Anaconda, and then you were on board with that. I was like, Anaconda was fun. It's a fun movie.
Oh,
and,
100%.
Yeah, and J-Lo does great in it.
Was it? Well, we'll see if it's one to refer. No, you put it on the documentary. I'm like, oh, like you start watching, you're like, oh, this doesn't sound right, and this doesn't sound right. A lot of people should be telling her no.
Yeah,
but,
should be.
But when you have money, you can just do what you want, I guess. And I watched a little bit more, and then when I turned around, I realized watch the whole fucking thing right before we had to leave. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Ben Affleck was my favorite part of the documentary. I think I told you this. I was like, I haven't never been the biggest fan of him unless he's in like a Kevin Smith thing, either like Dogma or like Jay and Silent Bob Struck Back. Armageddon's okay, even though Kevin Smith obviously didn't do that one. But I don't know, just seeing him as himself in this J-Lo documentary, I was kind of like, hey, I don't mind Ben Affleck right now.
I mean, like they got back together, much like a Me and Ming story.
Yes.
But he looks at her and I'm like, oh man, this boy is fucking smitten right here. Like he looks at her like in fucking awe. Like he seems like he really does love her.
Exactly, and I think that's very sweet.
I do like to think that he was like recording his own interviews, like it's just him and a camera, and he's looking at the camera and he's writing all.
He did it himself.
Yeah, he did it himself. There's no fucking.
He's an Oscar winner.
I do think he's I understand I can understand where your sentiments come from. I think he's had a little bit of a renaissance. Like I do like that stupid movie, The Fucking Accountant, for no fucking reason.
Okay.
It's a shitty fucking movie, but I'm like, it's not a bad.
Gone Girl isn't bad either.
Gone Girl's pretty good, but what makes Gone Girl good though? Him or everything else in that fucking movie?
Right.
I'll give you the story makes that.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in it.
Fair. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
The
Daredevil.
I mean, Oscar-winning performance in Daredevil. It's awful. Yeah, I've maybe seen it.
He's the worst Batman, though.
He's fine Batman. He's a fine Batman. Is he a Batman or he's Ben Affleck
playing
play
Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he was in Justice League, obviously, with Momoa as Aquaman. And I remember that was like when we first got to see Aquaman before his movie.
Yeah.
And I just remember Affleck in that movie. I was like, can he just not be in this? Like, he's bumming me out.
He was fine.
Okay.
But like at least he had a bit of a renaissance. Like he's actually pretty talented. I know like he might be writing.
I agree.
Is he still writing the coattails of like Good Will Hunting? I don't know. But he did Argo. Argo was fucking really good.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna do something else that's like equally as good eventually. I don't see him settling for just making movies to make movies one day.
Yeah. He's better than his brother. I'll give him that, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know these people. Yeah. Maybe he's just not for me, so I don't want to like hate on him, but I guess I just don't really gravitate towards his stuff in general.
But we are deviating from the main star of this show, J-Lo.
It's J-Lo.
Yeah. It's just that documentary, just like, yeah. What is everybody saying? Delulu? Like, just
Delulu.
I mean, yeah, I get it. She has a passion project. She wants to do it, and she has that's all you hear throughout the entire thing. I have a story to tell. I have a story to tell. All right, your story is like everybody else's, pretty much. Like, it's like
her story is, sorry to cut you off, is that she's had a few marriages. She's fallen in love. She's broken her heart. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like that does happen to all of us. It's, I don't know. And the thing, like, again, too many yes people around her, and she was funding the whole movie herself, so no one really can say no to her, I guess, which I understand. I've worked for people like that. But yeah, it was just like, when people did say no to her, it was this narcissism going back at him. But she's like, well, they're just scared of my story. They're just scared of my story. They don't hear my story. And it's like, well, what is it? Like, what's so scary about it?
God forbid God forbid somebody say no to you.
Yes.
Problem with your story is that it's fucking basic shit.
It's a basic story. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It's a lot of people's stories.
Yes. We've all had our heart broken. We've all had bad relationships.
Yeah.
Like, and you grow and you heal and you try to do better next time around.
I mean, I will. All right. So I didn't watch the music video. I only watched the clips that were in the documentary. It looked really polished. Like, it didn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look. Like, they spent spent
money.
I mean, maybe the CG is a little bit, less expensive if it's not a full budget or full length movie. I don't know how long is the?
It's 60 minutes.
Oh shit. Well, okay. Well, it's not an hour and a half, but it's an hour and a, it's an hour of almost pure CG. Yeah. All right. Regardless.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, but I'm using dancers as a metaphor. Like, I'm not the person acting, but then she's the person acting.
I know. She's like, this isn't my story. It's a version of me. And you were like, this is really confusing.
Yeah, because you are the person in it.
And I think Ben Affleck says that. He's like, when in the documentary, he's like, he's kind of making fun of her, which I love, because obviously
100%.
he's her husband. He's gotta like.
And I think, what was it? We came up to, we were watching the documentary, we were seeing clips. I'm like, isn't that the suit from Armageddon?
I said that.
Isn't that? And then seen that Ben Affleck's writing the thing. Is he just putting his?
We're like, is Ben writing this script now?
Is he just putting his fucking movie clips in it from? Like we just needed a Good Will Hunting scene, and we needed.
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, 100%. Like, how easy this is for me. This is fucking nothing.
Yeah, I have Oscars. Do.
Because what is it? The suit from Phantom, the exact suit from fucking Phantom, the suit from fucking Armageddon, the silver suit.
Yes.
And then there had to have been something else.
Yes. There was definitely some Affleck things in there.
Affleck flakes.
Affleck flakes.
Okay.
Moving
on. So this is the reason
J-Lo's
for this
best
season.
Movie she's ever done.
Basically, she's trying to do Purple Rain. Is basically what it comes down to. So we are doing 1997's Anaconda. I did watch this in the theater, I think with some friends. It was 1997, so I was probably like in 6th or 7th grade.
Okay, I was 6.
Yeah. And we thought it was going to be scary as all hell. The rave reviews when it came out. And I'm like,
it made money. This movie made money.
It made some money. It
was a $45 million budget, and it made
$136.8
$136.8 million worldwide. So it made its money back.
Yeah, and that's in 1997 money.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have a, let me give you the rating right now, a 4.9 out of 10 on the IMDb, almost a 50%. 41 on Rotten Tomatoes, 2.3 out of 5 at Letterboxd. 72% of Google users like this movie. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It had a great title for the next movie. Spoiler alert: there's a sequel.
There's lots of Anaconda movies.
Well, is it that they're Anaconda movies, or they're just movies with the word Anaconda in them? Like,
fair, but I think they all stemmed from this, though. I would argue that.
And so part 2 is called Anacondas. Love it. Just add the S.
Just add the S.
Well, that's all you need. You know?
There's like Trail of Blood, I think, is one of them.
Offspring is Anacondas 3.
Offspring.
Trail of Blood. Yeah, there you go, right here. Yeah. You know?
There's been a few.
Oh, but also we are also doing this because there is a remake that came out, and I think we'll be doing some.
I saw that.
We might be going back to our original formula. We do originals and remakes, but there is a remake, a Chinese remake that came out
this month, March.
Yeah, like
at time
just
of record,
came out. So
just came out.
Random.
So we might have to see if we can get our hands on that one.
Yeah. So in the future, we might be doing One of the Crows and the remake that's coming out in June. So we might be going back to old formula.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we're having fun.
Going back to the roots. So as we do, we are going to be playing the movie in the background for reference, and we're going to be talking lots of shit about it. But just like your family, we'll talk shit about you, but doesn't mean we don't love you, because we love what we do here, and we're having fun. Also, and this fucking thing here.
Okay, so first off, this is what I told you earlier, that I had to go ahead and research this, because right away you get the scrolling screen of some text about the Amazon and anacondas.
Yeah, let's just summarize it for our listening audience, right? Tales of monstrous man-eating anacondas have been re-encountered for centuries by the tribesmen of the Amazon basin, some of who said to worship these giant snakes. Anacondas are the most furious and enormous creatures of the earth, growing, in certain cases, as long as 40 feet. Unique among these snakes, they are not satisfied after eating their victim. They will regurgitate their prey in order to kill them and eat them again.
Eat again.
Which I'm pretty sure that's the fucking pitch. I'm pretty sure
that was the guy in the meeting.
Dude, they don't kill you. They throw you up and eat you again.
Also, fact, the longest anaconda ever reported is that they've seen is 17 feet. So in this film, the anacondas are 40 feet, but that's fine. We're going for a fucking monster film here.
Yeah, even though like you kind of can't tell it's 40 feet.
Yeah.
Like once we get to the end of it, I'm like, what is it 40 feet? It's all coiled up. Like,
but what I had to research real quick with this one was the whole regurgitation of that, which is actually true. So what it is the snake will eat a large prey whole, and you guys, not humans, so sorry to say that. It's usually like, they're big animals, but snakes do not attack humans.
So we're saying we have no man-eating snakes here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think there have been some cases.
I'm sure they have killed people, but I meant is like, if you're out in the jungle, they're not going to attack you like the ones in this movie.
No, these are some attacks
here.
Yeah.
But what happens if they do eat a really large prey like that? They will usually retreat into a safe spot so they can digest. Like, they go to peace to hang out, because it's a lot. Yeah. So if for whatever reason they've eaten their whole prey and they're in a situation that they are in danger or they have to fight, they will regurgitate their food so they can get away faster and they can go protect themselves. And then they will come back and eat it again.
So there is a reason behind it.
Yes.
Okay, it's not just because, like, for shits and giggles, like my dog who likes to throw up her meal and re-eat it.
Because she eats too fast.
Because she ate too fast. Yeah. I ate too fast.
She was like, I ate too fast. What? So there is fact behind it.
I love it. Thank you, Courtney, bringing
You're
the
welcome.
facts today.
But we do get a nice intro with the one and only Danny Trejo. I love that he's in the beginning of this movie. This is the only time you see him, but he does have a fun part.
He is. Oh, I don't even know if we find out his name later in the movie, but yeah, later we find out he's like one of the three guys that are the snake hunters. It's some awful ADR. That is not Danny Trejo's voice. They're obviously speaking Portuguese, and he's asking for help.
Also, Danny Trejo looks exactly the same. Like, I know he's young in this because it's 97.
Yeah.
But he looks the same.
He looks the same. His face has pretty much been the same. I know he was like a boxer, and he was
he's had a life.
Yeah,
Love
he was in jail for a little bit. I think that's where he learned to be a boxer, if I remember correctly. But no, he's a fucking gem.
Love Danny Trejo. Machete amongst the many, many wonderful things this guy does.
So obviously Danny Trejo's freaking out. There's something going on in the boat. He's radioing for help in Portuguese. That's how we know, because Danny Trejo's voice is very distinctive, and apparently he couldn't learn the few words of Portuguese for this small role.
Yeah.
But this was before Danny Trejo was Danny fucking Trejo.
That's true. So before he got his major roles.
Yeah, because like this would have stood out. But I think he does really, really well. And then there's obviously something attacking the boat, and it is ferocious.
It is ferocious, and it's big.
It is big. It did give you that sort of intense thrill, just like the nails are flying off of the boards because something is banging against the boat. That was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Great cold open.
Very great cold open.
Yeah.
Because as we see here, Danny Trejo has a gun. He's trying to attack it. But I think he does realize that this is the end for him, because he climbs to the tippy top of his boat, and you know what? Instead of meeting his death to whatever creature this is, even though we obviously know it's an anaconda, he shoots himself in the head.
And he says, "My anaconda don't want none if you don't got no buns."
That's exactly what he said.
And he pulls the trigger.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
So we're in the hotel in the deep Amazon.
Deep in the Amazon. Jungle Hotel.
And then we cut to J-Lo, who's playing the character of Terry Flores, real jump there. So let's just introduce this star-studded list of fucking cast.
It's a good cast.
Yeah, 100%. So we got J-Lo playing Terry Flores, Ice Cube playing Danny Rich, which I don't even know if we need to know his last name. Gary Dixon is the sound guy, played by Owen fucking Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Eric Stoltz, who would have been our Marty McFly in another universe, playing Stephen Cale. And Kari Wurr playing Denise Kalberg, which is the production manager, she's been in a bunch of stuff. We'll go through them one by one.
One more important person right here, Jonathan Hyde, who is the bad guy, the villain, or what's his character's name?
No, his character's name is Paul Cerrone, played by John motherfucking Voight.
No, John Voight. Jonathan Hyde.
Oh, Jonathan Hyde, you're right. Sorry.
It's okay. I know.
He's our David Attenborough-esque character.
He plays like the narrator of this documentary.
Yeah.
So J-Lo's the producer. We have Danny is the cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
Eric is the director, right? Is that what he is?
Eric is... J-Lo's the director.
Oh, J-Lo's the director. Eric's the
Denise
producer?
Denise is the production manager. Stephen Cale is basically, it's his documentary. He's the one who got all the funding for this. Gary is Owen Wilson. And Jonathan is the narrator. Yeah. And then Danny Trejo's character.
Does he have a character name?
Poacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
But John Voight will come in later, and he's the main villain here. But Jonathan Hyde is what I wanted to say, is who I love, and it was a huge part of my childhood movies, definitely during this time, because he was in Titanic.
Yeah.
He was in Jumanji. He was in The Mummy. Very much a similar character. Like, there's just an asshole.
If I would have done it all over again, it just would have been like that short, pudgy character and character actor and a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. Just find your niche.
Find your niche.
They need that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
He's great. I enjoy his acting.
Yeah. So then that's what we have. We have Eric setting up this expedition. They are going to go find this hidden tribe that's never been filmed deep in the Amazon. They have reported sightings, so they know where they're going. They're renting this ferry boat. What do you call this? A ferry? A barge?
A ferry.
Yeah, because it's
Barge. Yeah.
It's basically a deck with a motor. There are no rails, and they hire Mateo to go down the Amazon. And then and Jonathan Hyde is introduced carrying, he's stereotypical.
He's a British guy.
British guy with a bunch of Gucci luggage, and it's so terribly hot. Sorry.
It's okay. I liked it. So terribly difficult. That was bad too.
Why was everybody and their mother can do a British accent but me?
I live there and I can't do it.
Oh, really?
It's just bad. But Jonathan Hyde is this guy in so many movies, and I love it. Like you said, just this is the way he went. He got his niche, and he made fucking movies. He's in movies.
Yeah, he's still in
movies.
He just did Claudius this year. He's doing Claudius this year.
Yeah.
Or he's in Claudius this year, which is, I guess, Shakespeare reinterpretation? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so homie's still, I was wondering, what happened to him?
I think he's great. Yeah. Anytime he shows up in a movie, I'm like, hell yeah.
I don't know what Eric Stoltz is doing anymore.
I don't know what Eric Stoltz is doing anymore either. Yeah. Ice Cube's doing great.
Yeah, Ice Cube's doing fine. And Ice Cube is introduced with one of the most ridiculous catch lines. Today is going to be a good day, which is his fucking song.
Yes.
I'm like, all right.
This has similar vibes to what we Deep Blue Sea, because LL Cool J is in Deep Blue Sea.
Let's see what came out
and first. Which one came out first, we don't know. But fucking rappers being in a monster horror movie.
Deep Blue Sea came out in 1999, so if anything, they did it first.
Yeah, so these guys did it first. So Ice Cube did it first, and then LL Cool J followed.
But I'm sure other rappers and musicians have done this. Well, I mean, let's see, was this J-Lo's first one? I'm all over the place right now because I'm just like, there's so much to say right now.
There's so much to say. But while you're looking that up, they get started. They take their boat out. They got the cameras going. We have Jonathan Hyde, again, who's the narrator of this documentary. And they're getting all of their opening shots. They're getting some cool monkeys and Amazon. And a lot of this movie was filmed in Brazil, actually. So, and then the other parts, towards the end, was all filmed at the L.A. Arboretum.
Well, I was going to say, the ending of it, I'm like, no way.
No way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all done in L.A. But this stuff here on the boat, it is actually in Brazil.
I got, let me see, actress, 135 credits.
She's not a bad actress.
No, if you can count your own music videos as...
But remember, it wasn't her story.
Oh.
But it was. I don't know what she said.
And some of those metaphors in that music video are so heavy fucking.
Yeah, the one where you're like, we're pretty sure that's Mark Anthony, but then she was like, no, it's not. We're like, oh, okay. But we need to know the Mark Anthony song.
Her acting career goes back as far as 1986.
Okay. I know this wasn't her first flick. I know that much. But this is the first one that I remember.
You're right. Okay. She was in South Central TV series. She was in Malibu TV series. She was in My Familia, Money Train, which I think might have been a bigger one. Jack. She was in Jack. Was she the teacher in Jack?
She was a teacher in Jack.
Jack made me cry so hard.
Oh.
That's a horror movie.
That one's really fucking sad.
I'm adding that to the dramas that it should be. We're missing all the movie here.
She likes the red gummy bears in Jack. Oh my god, it's all coming back to me.
She did Jack before she did Selena.
She did.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay. So they're
we've met John Voight. So sorry.
Yeah, we're losing our trip. We're missing this lazy river trip down the Amazon. So we come across a broken down ship, the crew, and it's raining and somebody's yelling, help me, and the worst.
We don't know his accent. We've talked about it before. We don't get it.
I do find out where he is from. He is from Paraguay.
What?
But he sounds like a Cuban.
Can you say,
I'm not
I'm from Paraguay.
Like I'm not.
That's what he says.
Not racist. I'm not trying to be racist towards any of my Cuban brethren, but this is what it. I've grown up with a lot of Cuban people in my day, and a lot of people that have English as a second language, and that very much sounds like a person who has English as a second language, but with a Cuban accent.
Interesting.
I swear to God. Swear to John Voight.
Okay, well, I trust you. It's because Spanish is your first language.
And then like immediately, John Voight's like, I'm in your debt, you know. And then he's fishing off the river. He's showing off. He's a fucking.
He's showing off that he's like he caught that fish like that, and they're all like, oh wow, like this guy knows his shit.
Yeah. And well, who's the David Attenborough? I forgot what's his name again. Oh.
David Attenborough, that sounds correct. The guy that does all those nature documentaries.
If the character or David Attenborough in this movie is so Jonathan Hyde Warren. Warren is a sassy bitch. Well, he's egging on everybody, right? So you know immediately he sets off John Voight because John Voight's character cannot be. You can't talk like there is some real toxic machismo going on.
Oh, for sure. He's like, I am masculine alpha. You must listen to me.
Yeah, I am the symbol for masculinity, basically. Like I fish off the boat. I'm gonna eat this fish. I don't even need to cook it. No, he's gonna cook it. But yeah, 5 whiskeys. 5 whiskeys. That's breakfast on the river. See, I could do that accent.
You can do it
because I know that's
exactly.
That's Tony Montana off the fucking river right here. That's
my God. You're doing it.
Yeah, see, I nailed
That's it. You
one.
nailed it. That's exactly what John Voight sounds like.
5 whiskeys.
5 whiskeys. I can't do it.
Okay. So during the day they record, and at night
they're chilling.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a blunt, but I don't think they let Ice Cube have a blunt.
Yeah, so a cigar, but most likely a blunt.
Yeah. And then Eric Stoltz, Dr. Kale. We're just gonna call them by their actors' names.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So just to like let everyone know, J-Lo and Eric are like an item. Mm-hmm. Like it's either a newer romance or something because they're not. Well, what would you say? Like, I don't think they're like sleeping together, but they clearly like each other.
Oh no, right here is where we kind of find out. It's funny though because when they first meet, they act like they met for the first time.
Yeah.
But during this scene where Eric Stoltz is showing them the fireflies and like their whole mating ritual, you find out that they've been together before. He's like, I've missed you.
Okay.
So like they have a history.
There's a romantic history, and they're working together again on this project.
And they're trying to be professional because J-Lo's got a lot riding on this gig because this will be her first big production. Yeah. And I get it. Nature documentaries are huge. Like, fucking watch a ton of them.
Yeah.
And if you can get that shot, like, it could really fucking pay off. Like, there's a bunch of documentaries about people just doing these National Geographic documentaries.
Yeah.
And those people just sitting out there for weeks just trying to get a shot of a fucking bird. Or a fucking... Sorry.
We got a quick shot of the Anaconda.
We got a quick shot of Annie right here.
Andy. That's its name.
Oh, Andy. Yeah, Andy and
Andy now, guys.
And then we got this poor innocent jaguar just out
Panther,
here.
jaguar, same thing?
I think.
Puma? Which one is it?
Let's say panther.
Okay.
Jungle panther?
Jungle panther.
Is a jungle panther a jaguar?
Andy gets it.
The Andy 100%. So there's a little tussle. We got the most stock footage of, screeching and animals yelling that we can get. And
it is very screechy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we just see an eye left over, like a very distinctive
panther eye.
Panther.
Jaguar eye, who knows?
Yeah, just left right there because it squeezed it so tightly. And then we cut to the next morning. They're just lazily going down the river. David Attenborough here is playing golf on his little makeup set, and Ice Cube is playing the jams. And I get it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't want to hear other people's music.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like 5 feet apart.
And I guess headphones weren't really a thing.
No, headphones are a thing.
In 97?
They've always been.
They've always been like, you're right.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube didn't have them. But I understand, yes, like, hey, man, we don't want to listen to your music right now.
We don't want to listen to your music loudly.
Yeah. I'm trying to play golf.
But there goes David Attenborough again, just being a fucking sassy bitch and just like, don't touch my stuff. He goes up to Ice Cube, turns down his music, and they get into a little tussle.
Yeah, that's a dick move. I wouldn't.
Jonathan Hyde, who is the David Attenborough character, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He basically says that I'm going to pay some of these tribesmen $50 to kill you, which is really fucking aggressive off the bat. Like,
yes.
I'm like, maybe don't threaten the crew.
Like, you guys just have known each other for like a day, and you're
Fucking 24 hours.
and you're being that mean.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay somebody $50 to kill you.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube's like, I'll kill you for free.
Yeah, because that's why I love Ice Cube. He's like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. So that was pretty spectacular. And then I guess he stands down. But like, yeah, that's a little aggressive off the bat. I've never threatened to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really haven't.
I really haven't. You can. This is my confession. Yeah.
I've never threatened to kill someone.
That's a little great. Yeah. So, I love this part right here. So they come across a giant totem pole.
Snake totem pole.
A snake totem pole. And it looks like a tribesman wrapped around a snake with the snake coming down on the head. And John Voight's going on to the Shirishawa. They believe in snake gods. No, I'm doing it off of him. But he goes into this whole thing, and he's like, we will pass a waterfall, and then there will be a guardian snake warrior. And
you're doing it great. I think you're doing amazing.
And then Eric Stoltz is like, yeah. And then he finishes the folklore for him. And John Voight just automatically got a fucking,
attitude.
100%. And he's like, yeah, I like it, but that's a different tribe's folklore. And Eric Stoltz is just basically, I also know my shit. You aren't the only fucking dick swinging motherfucking hunting tribesmen in this fucking documentary.
So they immediately, again, they don't like each other.
Yeah. And then they shoot some B-roll.
Yeah. And then John Voight's like, nah.
What the? That's such a sassy bitch.
It's like, we saved you. Like, relax.
So they go into shooting their B-roll, and then John Voight, boss around, he just jumps into the fucking shot, just saying, I know what I know. And yeah, you know what you know. That's fine. But maybe you also don't know what you know. But he's got ulterior motives, obviously.
Exactly.
He's turned the ship to the right, but Eric Stoltz, Dr. Kale, is basically making the ship turn left.
Yeah. Because he's like, we're not listening to you. We're doing a documentary on this, which is fucking fair. Like, this is his project. He's like, we're not listening to you. But like you said, there's ulterior motives. Mateo and John Voight are like little buddies.
Yeah, we find. Yeah, you do notice it. Like, at first, you don't see it, but then the way he just keeps talking to him.
Yeah.
He keeps ordering Mateo around, like, really comfortably.
Yeah.
Basically the whole thing was that Eric Stoltz was like, due to the river being a high tide, the tribe would most likely go to the left, and search for lower lands or something like that. So they would have to go left instead of
Which
right.
is a very educated decision to make.
It's almost like he knows what he's talking
Exactly.
about.
It's almost like he's producing a movie, a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess how would you do it? So you got grant money for the documentary, and then what? You would sell the documentary too?
Yeah, it would go into distribution.
You'd double up on it?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Okay, so then we have...
the Owen Wilson and... What is her name again?
Well, her real name is Carrie.
Okay.
Who's been in a bunch of TV.
So we've now docked the boat or whatever for the evening.
Yeah, they're gonna dock a boat.
Yeah. Whoop whoop, bop shaka bow wow. So these two go into the Amazon, and of course they're like our little sexy horny couple because you gotta have them.
You gotta have them.
Yeah. So they're making out in the Amazon, but of course they hear some spooky noises.
Oh,
Could it be Andy?
It's like. They went out to. Obviously they went out to make out, to neck,
to do more than make out.
Yeah.
But they didn't get that far.
They were simultaneously recording noises because for the documentary. And
but something does start to chase them, and luckily, John Voight shows up, been able to shoot it.
Boss around.
Boss around. And of course we are thinking, oh my god, it's Andy the Anaconda, but it's not. It ends up being like a boar.
Yeah, it was a boar. If it's fucking probably pitch fucking black.
Yeah.
Like in reality, if you were in the fucking jungle and you just heard something coming at you, it would probably scare the shit
Oh yeah, 100%. Are you kidding me? Anaconda or not, because they don't know there's a giant snake out there, so it doesn't matter. You'd be terrified.
Yeah, this is Owen Wilson's fourth movie between 1993 and 1997.
This is when he was doing horror. He's done a couple.
Guess what he
things.
did right after this?
The Haunting.
fucking Armageddon.
Yeah,
Full circle.
Oh my God, we did it!
Boom!
Boom, boom,
And
boom.
the episode right here, 6 Degrees of Jennifer
We
Lopez.
just did it. Owen Wilson's in Armageddon, baby. I didn't fucking forgot he was in that movie.
I forgot to. There's like 24 cast members in that movie.
I know.
Yeah.
I always remember Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis. And
Yeah.
oh wait, and Steve Buscemi.
Who's it?
But Owen Wilson is also in The Haunting, which is another random horror movie he's in. And he has a great death in that one too. Like he has a great death in this one.
Which it's another 3 years from now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, 90s.
Ooh, there's a one called The Minus Man. We might have to check. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah. So then
Morning.
it's morning after he brings the boar in.
And they're like, we're gonna eat this.
We're
And
gonna
I'm
eat
like, okay.
which is like fair. You know, the thing was gonna try to kill you. Law of the jungle, eat or be eaten, right?
Yes.
So then it is morning. They showed a nice CD Walkman. I guess that might have been a plug for Sony, but I'm like, man, that's some old technology and some speakers that connect to the CD.
I remember
back.
though. I remember.
That takes me back. Had all that stuff.
And like there was like a thing, there was a certain button that would like help you so it wouldn't skip, like if you're moving too much.
But eat the shit out of your battery.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, but I remember that too.
What was it?
It was like anti-skip technology.
Oh, you nailed it. Thank you, man. We're just having
so stupid.
I'm having fucking a flashback right now. There's
I don't think
also
it
extra
worked.
boost.
Extra boost.
Yeah, for I guess for the sound. So then it's like you said, it's the next day. They're lazily going down the river.
Here comes a real good one.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking rough.
So they get caught up on something catches the boat, and so Eric needs to dive in to try to free the boat.
The propeller, one of the ropes, I guess, fell off the side of the boat and gets caught in the propeller, making them stuck, which is kind of real fucking shitty. And then Eric Stoltz is like, you know what?
He's like, I'm the captain.
I think he's like, I'm real alpha dog around here.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna cut it out. I got to take my scuba gear down there, and I'm gonna cut the shit out of this.
But I just want to take note, before he jumps in, he does mention this certain little catfish,
go for it.
Kangaroo, aka the vampire fish. Which this is, I think, the most terrifying thing that scared me from this movie, was because that's the legend where it's like it will go up your urethra, man or woman, if you pee, and it like basically lodges itself inside of you, and like it's disgusting, disturbing. You obviously have to go to the hospital.
You have to cut it out.
You have to cut it out. But just to clarify, that is a real thing, but it's only happened once.
Oh,
It's only happened one time ever, and Jeremy Wade, the River Monsters guy, that's an episode of that, and he talks about it.
Nice.
So that is a real thing, and we're just taking note of that because this is kind of similar. It's not the urethra thing, but what happens to Eric right here when he gets, I want to say that I guess it's a similar thing, stuck in his throat.
Oof. He was kind of set up. We'll find out later he was set up.
Yes.
As he's cutting the rope, he starts to choke, and you see that he starts to flail, and he obviously knows that something is wrong, and then everybody kind of just scoops him out, which is weird because Eric Schultz goes swimming like 20 feet out into the Amazon instead of just going up onto the boat.
I know.
I'm like, he knew enough to ask for help, but he didn't know enough to just, look up.
Yes.
Sorry.
You didn't look up.
You didn't look up, Eric. So he's not breathing. This actually has like a lot of memorable scenes. The way you just talked about with the catfish, like I feel like that made the myth so widely known after that.
Yes.
They open up Eric Stoltz's mouth, and here we have a wasp come out. And Mateo's like, "It is deadly. It is poisonous. It's a wasp." And
He's
I'm
still
like,
not breathing. What are we gonna do? And motherfucking John Voight, like this scene right here.
this is what I'm talking about.
Yes. I thought I could do this. I thought I was going to be helpful in any sort of situation that I might be in the Amazon. Like I was like, you guys, I've seen Anaconda.
I got this.
Because what John Voight does is takes a pen, a regular basic ink pen, cuts open the throat, sticks the empty pen in it so that Eric can breathe, because he's not breathing from the poison caused by this wasp in his mouth.
Yeah, the poison has basically like sealed up his throat. I forgot what this is called, but essentially he kind of like ventilated his his lungs are. He caused another airway path. I know this has a very specific name, completely.
Yeah.
But basically, this is the first time I've seen it, and after that, I was like, oh yeah, like an Anaconda.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I've seen this movie. I could totally do that if I'm ever in this situation. No, I couldn't.
It looks simple enough. I mean, John Voight just takes the fish knife and just slips it right in, and then the pen right after that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's got to be fucking tough. Like,
So, but basically, John Voight is motherfucking captain now. Like, he knows it. He's like, I'm in charge.
yeah,
Like, Eric's gone and now they're on like a time crunch because they've said we have to get Eric to the hospital. Like, this isn't going to last long.
which is weird because I don't really know like John Voight really hasn't given Paul Serrano hasn't really given in all of his cards yet, but he is definitely set it up like, look, if we go down this path right here, save you 15 miles, right? And Jennifer Lopez isn't stupid. She's like, well, this is what you wanted to do yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but that's what yesterday.
Exactly.
Like,
he's like, but we have to get to the hospital. We have to get there quickly.
Yeah.
And I do like that part of JLo's character because she's like, well, what the fuck? Like, this guy has ill intentions. But at the same time, we have to get Eric to the hospital. Like, we have to.
Fair enough. Always follow your goal. I always like it when, like we mentioned it before, we like it when the characters are like smart enough to know that something's fucking up.
Yes.
So then also Ice Cube's like, I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. And she's like, well, what are we going to do? And then they do it. So they're not smart enough.
Exactly.
But.
Because basically, in this situation, John Voight has shown that he knows what he's doing. He's battled the Amazon. He helped them. So they really don't have much to go on other than to trust him.
Oh, that clears it up for me because you're right. I was just like, well, what was the point of saving Eric Schultz's life? But that gains everybody's trust.
Yeah.
Because he saved one of them.
Exactly.
So
but
they
like,
would believe him. Wow.
Yeah.
I would have been fooled.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. You're like, I would have been a fool. But at the same time, Edgar, if we were in this situation, I would also be like, I don't like this guy. What do we do?
I would have been fish bait. I would have been snake bait. Fuck. I'm done. One thing that really weirds me out about this movie is everybody's drenched all the time in sweat. Like in the previous scene when John Voight's trying to convince them to go
the
down
Amazon.
His shirt is drenched in sweat. His shirt is wet from top to bottom.
He is wet.
That is, I don't think that's. First, it's icky.
It's very icky.
I'm like, I sweat. I understand I sweat, but I'm not gonna my shirt isn't gonna look like I just.
You would just take off your shirt.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm just not gonna wear the shirt. I'm very sweaty.
Yeah. But top to bottom wet.
Yeah, he's just wet.
Yeah. Okay, so then they come across a makeshift dam, all of a sudden, going lazily down the river, and then they're like, well, we can either cut back, but we'll lose
time.
Yeah, we'll lose a bunch of
time, or
time.
we blow up this dam.
Yeah.
And we have Jonathan Hyde, aka the Attenborough guy, that's like, just blow it up. But everyone else is hesitant because they're like, well, why is it here? Like, it's clearly keeping something out, or it's doing something. Like, it was built.
Yeah. But if I was a fucking anaconda, I don't think that would stop me.
I don't think that stops anacondas either.
Oh, or maybe it's just stopping people from going in.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess if this is also, if they're still on the mentality of like it's the people of the Amazon or something they're trying to research could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So maybe those people are like, we don't want anyone in.
So then Owen Wilson is tying some dynamite to the makeshift dam, and then we get a kind of like a off to the side view of another totem right there, which is just like, now you're blowing up a fucking an artifact.
And you do get the camera angles perspective or whatever of the snake that you'd imagine. So you get like lurking in the water at Owen Wilson.
You could tell there's something in the water.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's something in the water. And John Voight is like, yes, there is.
Yes. I can't do it. Yes. Yes, sure. It's a completely different voice.
So the fuse is lit. They're rushing back to the boat, and they're recording the explosion. And this is when all kind of fucking shit just goes.
This is gross. Because once they blow it up, this is real. Like, well, obviously the blow up, but the real snakes that are thrown onto this boat. These are all real snakes.
Yeah, yo, 100%.
And that's terrifying.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking snakes go flying
Everywhere.
Yeah, that would be some biblical shit, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And of course, John Voight, you need to do the voice because he's like, my babies.
He's like, hey babies, go to your mother, go back to mama.
Go back to mama, babies.
You know, and I'll give it to John Voight. He's not trying to kill every snake. He's just like carefully picks them up and
throws them back in.
Yeah. He's got some great lines.
He does.
You know, he's really eating up the fucking scene. But he should have really done his research on what a fucking. If he would have said he was Cuban, perfectly fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go. I would admit the director would have been like, you know what, John Voight, you're Cuban.
Yeah. You know, but he's from Paraguay.
Paraguay. Again, John Voight's all badass with these snakes. He's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Because he's after the big one, baby. He doesn't care about these little babies.
Yeah. He's like, go back to mama, assuming like these were all going to be anacondas.
Yeah, they're trying to insinuate that, yes, every single one of these anacondas or snakes are like babies of the big one.
So, unfortunately, during this explosion, debris goes flying and knocks off all the fuel off the barge. And they only have one drum left, which takes them about 100 kilometers, which says maybe a day's worth or something like that. So they basically just have like one trip left.
So they got to be quick.
And Eric still, even though got stung by a poisonous wasp inside the throat, is still alive. Which I'm like,
the pen thing worked, even though it's no longer in his trachea.
100%. Oh, it's a tracheotomy.
There we go. We got it.
It's
no longer there, but he apparently is breathing just fine.
You're right, because I was the same thing. I was like, the pen should still be there. We're not medical experts.
We're not. But I could do it. I'm just kidding.
According to Hollywood, I could fucking do it.
According to Anaconda, I could motherfucking save a life.
But that pen should still be in his fucking throat.
It should. It absolutely should. And also, a quick little fact: the barrels of fuel should have float.
Oh,
they should have. Yeah, like they should not have sank. But you know what? It's a movie.
Because 100%. If it has the liquid inside, it's gonna float. Yeah, you're right.
Because that just like boats do have some like, things that they're good at.
And then on top of that, like sometimes they just stand in the water. So I'm like, couldn't you just like have tied a rope to some of it? You could have scuba gear.
Exactly. I'm like, you guys could have went back and got that. Yeah. But you know what? Moving along, it doesn't add to the story.
Yeah. So after they pass the dam, they keep going. They check in on Arab stuff, like we said, and then they come across another barge that just kind of crashed on the side there, tipped over. So they're like, you know what? It might have fuel. Let's go check it out and see what it's got.
Now, this is the boat from the beginning, correct? This is Danny Trejo's boat.
This is Poacher's boat.
It's Machete's boat.
Yeah. Which Poacher was like, you know what? If that would have been his name,
that's fine.
In a non-poaching scenario, would have been fine.
But again, look, we're getting up to where you are going to find out that Poacher, a.k.a. Danny Trejo, worked with John Voight.
In a great shot of show and don't tell, we have a little newspaper clipping of Mateo Bosseron and Danny Trejo's character holding a big snake.
Exactly.
Like getting the biggest snake that they in recent history.
Yeah, so we know John Voight's been here before. Yeah. So is Mateo.
So we find out they're all buddies, and then things are revealed. And also, I just hate a fucking ponytail. I hate
John Voight's ponytail's gross.
But see, this is where we find out. We find out they're just standing in the water, so they could have easily
like it's waist length.
Yeah, which I understand. Maybe you don't want to stand in the water.
Yeah, well, especially when you know those nasty bugs and shit or nasty fish are in there. Just make smarter decisions. Don't pee.
Yeah, and leeches and what is it? The Karandu, the curry.
Yeah, that's the vampire fish. Well, that's the urethra one. Whereas like the wasp that was in Eric's neck or mouth was a different thing. But again, Amazon, a lot of really nasty shit.
Real life motherfucking horror.
Yeah.
A lot of things can kill you.
Going back to that River Monsters guy, I loved that show. I don't know if he's still on anymore, but I loved it.
We're gonna need your report on it.
I know. I'm gonna go look into it because he was great. That dude has had every single illness that you can even imagine.
Really?
Yeah, from just traveling around and being in the Amazon and all over the world.
Perfect.
Like he's beat West Nile and like all this mad things.
Well, that's just American grit right there.
Yeah.
So And I appreciate Ice Cube. He's just like, well, I'm just gonna record, getting some shots because he's still on the fucking clock.
Yeah, he's like, well, we might as well get this B-roll. We might
Yeah.
as well like get the shots since we're out here.
I'm sorry, my stomach. We might pick up my stomach gurgling on the mic, FYI. So we see a nice clear shot of John Voight, Bosserone's nice scar down his face as he takes down the newspaper clip because they don't want Ice Cube to see. And they're just kind of scavenging the boat for fuel and anything else they could find, which I'm like, there's probably
Smart.
some batteries on there.
Yeah.
And
There's a gun, Ice Cube. Or no, not a gun.
that is a gun.
That is a gun. Okay, yeah.
It's
Ice
a
Cube.
bent gun.
It's a bent gun.
Yeah, a rifle.
But they also quickly realized that shit went down here. Like what we saw in the beginning with the snake attacking the boat.
It is half sunken. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Which I guess I didn't pick up on the first view.
But John Voight obviously is like, there's shit in here that I need, and that is weapons and more dynamite and crap.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when he
Trejo
opened it
has.
up. But you kind of aren't really clear when he opens it up.
It's not really clear what's in the thing he finds, but I'm just assuming weapons.
Ice Cube follows him down, and then the little jump scare. John Voight's like, "Help me with this."
How? And he's like, "What did you find?" He goes, "Treasures."
Oh, that's right. Treasures.
I didn't do it right on my accent.
No, that's good.
Treasures. And so John Voight gets Ice Cube to be like, "I need you to help me carry this back to the boat."
Which is like, you're right. Like, and it kind of looks like this. Chest, like this metal chest, kind of floats.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's right. Wouldn't you want everything that's like on the boat to fucking
float? That's the idea of when you are boat living.
All right, cool. We got there. Thank you. Yeah.
I've never lived on a boat, but
Yeah.
like I would imagine, like I remember like you had to have your boat keys on one of those things that floats.
Those big giant things. For the longest time, I always wondered what they were.
Yeah.
Mateo says he's coming. He's the last one off the boat, and like a fucking Mr. Magoo, he slips off the fucking boat. This is random too. The way
This
they
is
cut
really
this
random.
scene.
His death.
But it's just like
The CGI snake.
Andy was just waiting for him off it. But it is great though.
Andy gets Mateo
Ooh.
real quick.
It's just because the shot is so different.
And like no one sees this go down because they're all walking away. Like they're like, "Come on, Mateo, hurry up!" And then Mateo gets fucking eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick fact: they spent $100,000 per second on these CGI snakes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
I mean, I understand. I mean, it is early CGI. Oh, 1996, 97. Oh, we're there, but like,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, not everything's gonna be CG. But yeah, I mean, some parts look really good. Some parts haven't aged really well. In lieu of this tagline, "You can't scream when you can't breathe," and that's what happens. Mateo gets wrapped up real quick against a piece of tree. He squeezes him, and then I love it though. I love it. Andy grabs him by the neck. Or grabs him by the face and then twists his body around, just snaps his neck, real fucking vicious, like almost malicious, almost like that wouldn't happen in real life, you know?
Probably not. But this is a man-eating snake.
I did like it though. It was pretty fucking.
No, it was cool, and like the whole opening of the snake's mouth and like the drool and it was pretty. It's cool.
Well, it cuts in between CG and animatronic.
And the actual puppet or whatever they used.
The 100,000 per second.
That is what IMBD said.
It's So I mean, you're doing, depending on how many frames you're doing per second. You know, if you're doing 30 or if you're doing 60.
And the budget was $45 million. So I mean, I don't know how many seconds we get of CGI snakes, but obviously at the end there's a whole fucking lot of it.
Well, they actually did. Do you want to rewind it? Do you want to take a look at it again?
No, it's okay.
He's like, no, yeah. But like that was a good. But like if you're doing it in slow mo, because Mateo was actually in slow mo, and I think they sped up the snake a little bit, so you would do 50, you do 60, maybe you do 60 frames per second. So that's 60, essentially drawings or digital images per second to make it look fluid.
I see.
It's a fair amount of work.
Yes, it is. And again, it's not. The movie dates itself. Obviously, it's 97, you guys, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at these CGI snakes.
But like, there's some that look really, really good.
Yes.
So we'll get there. I'll show you.
moving forward, they don't like Ice Cube goes back for a minute to check on Mateo, but again, no one finds him. And then literally John Voight's like, "Well, we gotta get out of here."
The John Voight pulls out a giant snake skin. Yeah.
And they cannot believe it. They're like, "There's no way there's a snake out there this big." And they're like, and he's like, "Yeah, you better believe it."
He's like, bigger. Like,
Bigger.
This snake skin is 4 years old, so it's much bigger by now.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Jennifer Lopez is like, "There's no snakes this big," and he points to the big scar in his face, and a nice cut scene that they've used a lot. But like right here, and he kind of gives her the middle finger in the process.
Yeah, he does.
So I think this is where John Voight's trying to convince them, be like, "Well, if we can just get." Does he convince him right yet, or are they just like, "We gotta get"?
He's
the fuck
getting
out of
there
here?
because he's like, the reward money for this snake. Like, you gotta help me. And also, they're not in a position to. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, he truly knows the Amazon best, John Voight, because Eric's out for the count.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think this is what he was trying to tell you. I think he was trying to let everybody know that Mateo has probably been eaten.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the snake, because
And then
Mateo
they're all
didn't come
mad.
back. So they were kind of waiting there
For Mateo?
for the night. Mateo didn't. I mean, if you're 20, 30 feet away, you walked away, you didn't come back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You do have to be like, well, we have to keep going.
Yeah. So
it's shitty, but you guys, you have to keep going.
Because now they are torn between like getting Eric Schultz to the hospital or waiting for Mateo, which I'm like, all right, it gives everybody, their stakes at play, right? So everybody's a little nervous. We got our first official death. Well, second death.
Yeah.
First death off the boat.
Traverse Trejo. But they're all worried. Obviously, that sucks. Even Owen Wilson, because she, what's her name again? Sorry.
Carrie.
She's even like, "Do you actually think he's dead?" And Owen Wilson's basically like, "Yeah." Like.
Oh, you mean Baby Bird?
Bah, bah, bah.
John Voight and Carrie, who's Denise, the production manager, have like a little thing going back and forth. He calls her Baby Bird.
Yeah, because John Voight's a fucking asshole. We know this.
Because being a little perv.
But now Owen Wilson's trying to get all buddy with John Voight.
Well, Owen Wilson's seeing some dollar signs.
That's what I mean. Yeah. He's like, okay, if I'm gonna be on this guy's like good side, because kind of everyone hates him. He's like, maybe I can help him catch the snake, and I'm gonna make some money.
No, John Voight plays a good villain. Like, he's playing it smart. Basically, he's like, I need to win people over.
Exactly. He's like, I need help. I can't catch this snake alone.
Yeah. He's like, I just lost Mateo. He's like, but I need a partner.
I need a partner.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah. So John Voight apparently has a fucking bunch of reptile tranquilizer, coincidentally.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
Or that might have been what he found.
It could have been. It could have been in the case.
Again, because we don't really know.
I feel like the more we look at it, like the more you see, like the scars weren't clear.
Yeah.
But as the movie goes along, you see more and more of the scars on his face.
Yeah. It's actually not that, and the scars look kind of old. Like, I would like a more fresh scar.
Yeah. Well, it could have been like
because I feel like this guy has been on the Amazon trying to fucking find this thing, obviously, for 4 years, if not more, or less, because that's how old the snake is, apparently.
Oh. I could have been like, he's on this river forever, so these are old scars. Like, he saw it once a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's been trying.
But that's not made clear.
Yeah.
But he clearly has fucking snakes on his mind.
I missed that book. I didn't even see that. Oh, okay.
John Voight only thinks about snakes.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So then John Voight also gets a lot of looks at Jennifer Lopez. Like, Jennifer Lopez is just kind of hot, just kind of like trying to cool down. There's a lot of scenes of him just staring at her
like a creep.
Yeah, like a creep.
And then there's this little scene here where John Voight kills a monkey, and the whole thing he's like, bait. He's like, you have to say it like this, you can't catch anacondas without bait.
Yeah. And everybody's like, what the fuck do you mean? Because they haven't really told anybody else.
I know, but also anacondas went live bait. Isn't that part of it? Like, they wanted to kill. Like, I don't think they want something to be killed for them.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, you want something live to regurgitate? I mean, not regurgitate, to digest? You know what? You're right.
And also, this is a man-eating snake. This guy's a badass. Like, you think he's just gonna fall for a little dead monkey?
Yeah, he just had Mateo for dinner yesterday. You think he's gonna want?
So John Voight's he's not so smart. Actually, I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you're right. I got nothing.
It's
no retort.
fine.
So now they're all discussing because they're like, "What are you doing?" Meaning we're trying to catch this fucking fish is what everybody's asking. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Owen Wilson, the guy in the group, is just going to be like, "You know what? We need to do something because we just lost this fucking trip. We can make something of it. We can get video of this fucking giant snake, and we can make some fucking money. And we can do it with the guy who's actually knows how to catch snakes. Resume pending."
Resume pending.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not hating on Owen Wilson for kind of like trying to, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe we got something here. We are trying to make a movie or a documentary. But also, like, read the room. Like, you're missing someone.
You're also, like, on top of that,
We
like,
have to get to a hospital.
somebody might have just died.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Like, we're missing Mateo, probably dead.
Yeah.
We have to get this other guy to the hospital. And we're worried about trying to catch the snake now?
Yeah.
Like...
And now John Voight kind of takes over the situation because Ice Cube's about to kick everybody's ass, and he just hands Owen Wilson a gun and just shoots his fucking film. You know, the fucking shit they're trying to capture him. Like, you can't just fucking shoot the fucking B-roll.
Yeah, I know.
It's just wasted time.
Ay, ay, ay.
So they took charge of the boat, and now what they're gonna do is
It's a mutiny.
Yeah, is mutiny. And this is a really good shot here. I really like that lighting in that one. But now they're basically just gonna fish for the anaconda.
Yeah. So they don't have a choice because now Owen Wilson's motherfucking gunned up.
Gunned up.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know how to work that, but he's thinks he's in charge.
100%. Yeah, we got some Dutch angles, which means danger. And he changed his shirt.
Yeah.
Now he's a fucking
He's
malicious
so
soldier.
serious. He's like, I got a gun now.
He went from the stupidest fucking surfer, fucking
Owen Wilson of all
Yeah.
people.
with his fucking puka shells.
Puka shells.
Yeah, and he
has 2 puka shell necklaces on everyone. 2.
played by Carrie, is really, yeah, he does. Is really, really upset. She's just crying her eyes up because
Yeah,
her
she's-
man.
Her man turned on them.
100%.
I'd be mad too. I'd be like, you're my fucking boyfriend. Fuck you.
Mhm.
I don't have sex with you.
Blah.
Bleh.
But once he gets that money,
But yeah, well, actually, if this turns out okay, I'm just gonna. He's a millionaire for catching a snake.
Oh yeah, that's what Paul Serrant said to him.
Yeah.
He's like, videotape of a snake like that? What do you think?
$1
$1 million.
Sorry if you can hear the police.
Yeah,
They're coming to get us.
because we're doing awful. It's a crime how bad this is going. So they're fishing off the side of the barge with a giant, I guess, was it a fishing rod or almost crane-like thing?
Yeah.
But they get it.
They get it. They get Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now everyone is seeing this motherfucker for what it is.
In really shocking zoom angles. Everybody sees it. Their eyes go wide. And then, what is he telling me? Oh, he's telling them to stop the boat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is impressive that he caught the snake with that monkey.
Yeah, I guess it worked.
Everything we just said, I guess, doesn't matter.
That's what he was telling. He was telling John Voight he was telling Owen Wilson, to shine light in its eyes to blind it so they could get it closer, or disorient it.
So this kind of goes back into like when you were saying earlier, like, is it 40 feet? Like, how long is this thing? You don't know, but it's obviously very big.
Yeah, this one, it could have been 40 feet.
And this is just it goes back and forth because it is like the puppet version of it in the water here. That's not much CGI.
Yeah, they did a really good job because it only needs to stick out part of it.
Right, just the head of it and the tail that they're kind of filming because the tail is going onto the boat and like fucking with
Fun
them.
fact, one of the animatronics of the snake short-circuited and was flailing on the boat, and they actually used it in the cut of this movie.
Oh.
So we might have just seen it right there, the way it was just fucking lashing back and forth.
Oh, hey.
So The snake breaks the rope, throws the monkey that it had in its mouth at Westridge, which is David Attenborough character, in like spite. He's like,
Yeah.
"Here's your fucking."
He's like,
snake.
"Here's your dead monkey. It
Yeah.
didn't work."
And apparently, the snake's got a thing for
Jennifer
Latinas.
Lopez?
Yeah, because like he immediately goes for Jennifer
The snake
Lopez.
like just goes after her and is like really interested.
A fucking boat full of fucking people, but it goes for Jennifer Lopez. But the snake's fucking up everybody's shit,
Yeah.
100%. But apparently, Carrie falls in the water, and then the snake's just like, ooh.
Yeah, he's like, "Ooh, someone's easy in there."
100%.
And then Owen Wilson does the boyfriend thing where he's like, "Well, I gotta jump in and help her."
Redeeming, a lot of characters actually get redeemed here
Yeah,
from being
like he
kind
does.
of like,
He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna be completely shitty here." But then we get the CGI snake. And it gets Owen Wilson.
yeah. So that's why it probably would have taken so long, because they do the CG in slow motion.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Especially when it twirls him up. And then it goes back to the animatronic or the puppet, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
version of the snake. Just taking out Owen Wilson.
And it was great though, because the snake wraps up Owen Wilson, grabs him by the face, wraps him up against the pole,
Yes.
and then as everybody's trying to get Owen Wilson, it lashes at them as it's crushing Owen Wilson simultaneously. So Andy knows what the fuck he's
doing.
Yeah, 100%.
They're doing whatever. The snake's got moves.
Yeah, snake's got moves.
The snake is a
Title of the
man-eater.
episode. Oh,
This
also-
snake's got moves.
This snake's got moves. This knocks down the pole, knocks Owen Wilson into the water, and we have a stage right exit for Owen Wilson. And
I'm sorry, there is a cute, like, little, real quick, you see the snake underwater coming up shortly, and then you see Owen Wilson's body inside the snake.
Oh yeah,
I like that part.
That did not age great.
It didn't age great, but I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
John Voight does like a little in memory of Owen Wilson, and it's so shitty.
Yeah, 100%. It's like fucking like passe.
He's like la di da di da, R.I.P.
Well, we find out his background was that he was a priest, and then he's like,
we do. I didn't think I missed that.
Yeah. In his opening monologue, he's like, "I was a priest, but I wanted to see more of the world, and it led me to the jungle." And I'm like, all right, that's
Weird background.
100%. But then he does this prayer, and apparently he knows Latin, and he's just like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
He's just so mysterious.
And he throws a couple leaves in the water.
He's just so sexy and mysterious.
Oh, sexy? You like John Voight Daddy?
No, not
Snake
at all.
Daddy?
Snake Daddy?
His fucking AOL messenger name?
Snake Daddy 666.
Yeah, Snake Daddy Voight. So Denise, the production manager, played by Carrie, is
She's
really,
upset,
really
obviously.
fucking upset. She's like, "Don't be worried, baby bird."
Yeah, still. Like, her boyfriend just died.
Yeah, it's a little rough one.
That's rough. Ice Cube still being cool as hell. Cool as hell this whole movie.
You know what? I still think Ice Cube would have rushed him if this was a real guy from LA. I think he would have rushed him.
Oh, I think so too. But he lost his knife.
Apparently, the only knife on. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up, because that was really upset.
There's the joke. So bad. The CGI Owen Wilson in the snake body.
But you know what? Some of these, like, even though it hasn't aged great, some of this CG still looks way better than some of the like CG movies, or some of the CG that we have in some movies, especially like those straight to video.
Yeah.
Like, this still looks better than that.
I know. So,
This movie is
well,
shoot
almost
32 years old. Yeah.
roughly. A little. I'm 32, so it's like
What year were you born?
91. So it's like 25 ish.
Oh wow, I was off by. All right, I don't math.
I'm bad at math too, so don't worry.
Sorry,
I was like, we might be both wrong.
This movie's like 40
This
years old.
movie's like 80 years old.
Fuck
Can you imagine the CGI 80 years ago? But yeah, back to the knife thing. During this like Anaconda struggle thing,
A lot
Ice Cube lost his knife,
So
which is a bummer for him.
he lost. Yeah, but there are lots of knives on this boat.
Yeah, there are.
I've seen them.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's a fishing boat. He literally had a fishing knife to do the tracheotomy.
You're
on
right.
Eric Stoltz.
If I do like that, like I'm like Ice Cube, you're from L.A., dude. You're from Compton. Like, why the fuck are you not like fucking with this guy? And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like,
So then John Voight's steering the ship, and then gets a knock on the door. Jennifer Lopez seductively walks in, You know, she knows that he's been looking at her.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm going to try to use this to my advantage.
Yeah. And
Does John Voight fall for it?
And I swear that scar looks different every time.
It does.
There's no continuity with that scar.
Mm-hmm.
It like moves like that mole.
Like an Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Wait, is that an Austin Powers?
Yeah, I think so.
This is like it doesn't matter. So what is she trying to convince him here? Like with her sexiness? Because she is like laying it on thick.
Okay. She's trying to convince him, as she's trying to seduce him, that like, well, how about you let me film you capturing the snake as she's coming on to him. Heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
Heavy.
And he's like, I haven't been with a woman in so long. And he's like,
So
it could
dangerous.
be dangerous to record something like that.
I would never want to put you in danger. I mean...
Oh, but you know what? But Jennifer Lopez says,
she lays it on thick, being like, I want you to protect me.
yeah,
Which...
he's like, but you're there to protect us.
Ladies, that works every time.
Oh. You know, I was gonna say, like, when a woman comes onto you that hard, don't trust.
Okay, well, Edgar's...
I was gonna say the opposite.
Edgar's like, okay, well, in my experiments, that it does work.
I say,
good for you.
I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm just trying to say, don't trust it.
Yeah, but you're just be like, I wouldn't trust someone. That I guess you're right. But
So it was, they were planning to ambush John Voight.
Yeah.
Ice Cube sneaks into the room, but John Voight, as he's kissing Jennifer Lopez, he sees it happening. He takes out his gun, and then Westridge, the David Attenborough character, from behind through the glass, fucking wallops him with a
golf club,
which
is bad. I like that a lot.
100%. So, because right there you have Westridge kind of having a little bit of retribution, a little bit of a redeeming, because he was kind of belittled by John Voight in the previous scene.
Mm-hmm.
And a giant fucking hole in John Voight's head. I think they murdered him.
That's a gnarly.
Did you see that wound?
Yes, it was like it looked open.
It looked like they split open his head.
And a golf club's
metal,
heavy. Yeah, metal. Like people have been murdered with golf clubs.
Yeah. No, this is the different part. There's a different movie where they murdered John Voight and fed him to the snake. Like,
yeah.
And they were debating that. They were debating, let's just throw him off the boat.
So, I mean, your suspicions are correct not to trust someone because because they clearly got him. Like they have him now tied up to the boat, and they're all like, "Well, fuck you! Like we're not like."
So then Jennifer Lopez, apparently in this scene, missing eyebrows, comes up to John Voight and just been like,
drama on that morning.
Yeah, it was just like, this was a setup from the beginning. And he's like, yeah, you're right. The whole thing, Mateo, him being on the side of the...
John Voight admits it.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, I was just trying to use your boat to try to go get this fucking snake, and you got in my way.
So I don't know if it's that Dr. Kale, Eric Schultz, like bought the boat for the expedition, and they hired Mateo, to run it.
Yeah. We don't get that information.
I feel like it's a little bit left.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then we sort of see that Denise, the production manager, got real fucking distraught because she is still mourning the loss
of... I mean, that's fair. That would really suck.
Of Owen's, snakebait Wilson.
Eric, still breathing. He's fine.
I'm shaking my head.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, they really left him, like, for nothing.
We have no idea how many days it's been now.
We have no many... Yeah, we don't know how long it's been. We were apparently in a rush, but now they can't do anything about it. But he's fine. The poison, it clearly isn't killing him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, now the film crew has taken hold of the boat. Westridge is driving because, I actually buy that. Westridge is rich, well-to-do, or he seems rich and very civilized.
And like you said... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so he looks like he knows how to drive a boat.
Yeah. But like you mentioned earlier, like the comeback of some of the characters, like this is his. Like you're actually like, wait, you know what? This guy's not too bad.
Yeah.
He was kind of an asshole in the beginning, but now he's got it.
Oh, and they do a shitty fucking joke right here. Be like, oh, let's just get back to showers and food and clean sheets. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. He's like, let's get back to traffic and cell phones. Like, don't start. Yuck, 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 yuck. I'm like, all right, get the fuck over here. Yeah. So they're all getting along together. And now that they've, banished the villain, tied him up, and they're on their way home, hopefully. But what do they come across? the mystic waterfalls that John Voight mentioned in the folklore
Right.
before.
So I believe this is now we're in the LA Arboretum.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're no longer in Brazil.
Makes sense why everybody looks different now.
Yeah, why everything looks really fucking different. Oh, Mishi's up. She had to say hi to us. Mishi? Okay, thank you.
He licked the mic.
Okay. She was like, I'm tired of my nap. I'm going to go sit in Edgar's lap.
It actually makes sense why they say like the barge is kind of stuck because this is a movie set.
Yeah, because we are exactly.
There's no moving parts. Yeah, 100%.
And also, like with the water, now I want to take a trip to the LA Arboretum and be like,
Yeah.
where was Anaconda filmed? Where's the waterfall?
Fair. Yeah, it all makes sense. I love putting it together.
Yeah.
So what they plan to do is basically they're stuck in mud, meaning that there is no water there.
They're fucking stuck.
They're fucking stuck. You're not pulling through that. I think.
I don't think so either.
It being the LA Arboretum, it just looks like they could just stand in that.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to basically pull themselves free. They're going to tie a rope around some trees and they're going to pull themselves free. Even though from the looks of it, that's just not happening. So Ice Cube is getting back in the water. That's the plan in motion. John Voight's just kind of watching the situation.
Because, John Voight, obviously John Voight gets out here in a minute, but because he has a knife, doesn't he?
Well, you'll see what happens.
Okay.
For some reason, all three of them get in the water, I guess, with 3 different ropes, tying 3 different sections for some reason.
Yeah. Their plan wasn't well thought out.
I don't know. Or I don't know why Jennifer Lopez had to go help Ice Cube.
Correct.
Actually, I don't know how this is actually supposed to work.
I like but I think a part of it being like it so feels like non-threatening, like them hanging out in this version of the water because we know because it's a completely different set. Like we're not in Brazil.
Because there's a waterfall.
It's a waterfall. I'm sorry, the waterfall looks just so nice. Like I can't.
I guess it also is like it's the Amazon. It's like, yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna edit that part out. But all right. So then, Carrie / Denise is the production manager.
Very upset.
She notices everybody's off the boat, and she's gonna take the. Oh man, sorry. We're gonna get to this. She's taking the fishing knife, and she's gonna be like, "I'm gonna fucking gut you." And he's like, "Don't look at him in the eyes because they will haunt you forever." I know.
The way he kung fu's
get the fuck out of here with that.
grabs her neck and strangles her to death.
So
and calls her baby bird one more time.
It was some bizarre fucking shit because he is seated with his arms tied behind a pole. And he jumps. Yeah, he jumps up like 5 feet, grabs his legs around her neck, brings her down, wrestles her. Why? No one heard this. Nobody heard this. And then I thought he was gonna snap her neck, but he just strangled.
He strangles
which her. You could have made her pass out, but you would have had to hold on to her for a while.
Is this guy James Bond? I don't think James Bond could do that.
He's John Voight.
Maybe he could. He's John Voight.
No, I know. No, what was it?
And that's how he gets a knife. That's where I was getting a little confused there.
He gets the fishing knife.
He gets a knife because Carrie or whatever had it before he killed her and just tossed her into the river.
Yeah, because now she is snake bait.
That's not a snake death.
But it was snake, and I think that's what draws the snake to them.
Perhaps.
Because now it's something dead in the water.
So Andy shows up.
Andy shows up. Everybody starts freaking out.
Yeah.
J-Lo and Ice Cube rush to the barge. Westridge, Attenborough runs the opposite direction and goes for the cliff on where the waterfall is.
And they're telling him, they're like, you gotta climb the rocks?
Yeah, you gotta go for the rocks.
I guess.
This, and you're right. Like, this looked like a 20-foot snake. Like, it doesn't look much larger than this room in length.
Yes.
I think this room is about 15 to 12 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
No,
don't
maybe.
know.
So, like, double the size.
But you're right. The snake doesn't look 40 feet.
But we find out why in a second. I'll give you that one.
Oh, that's right.
Paul Serrand releases himself from his fucking binds. He starts fighting everybody out on the fucking boat. J-Lo points the gun at him and knocks him loose. Ice Cube, that was a stunt guy. Ice Cube,
That was a stunt guy.
John Voight start fighting. That's where he saw the stunt guy. That was not Ice Cube. Because that guy was way bigger.
Yeah.
So John Voight stabs Ice Cube in the leg, and now we cut back to Westridge, who's jumping off the waterfall to avoid Andy. And Andy, that's why it doesn't look okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Because the snake got up into the tree. That's what was confusing to me.
Yes, but I guess maybe it is 40 feet. I do really like that scene because he's hiding in the waterfall, and the snake comes through the waterfall, and then he like anyone would do, just fucking jumps. He's like, well, I'm out of here. And the snake just gets him.
Catches him in midair.
Yeah. So I think that's my favorite snake death.
I think all the snake deaths are actually pretty
great,
good,
but I think that's the best one.
No, we got one more coming.
I know there's another, but I think that one's my favorite.
Okay,
I do like,
fair.
I mean, the John Voight one is great too. Then suddenly, you guys, Eric is fine.
Oh.
Eric wakes up.
The gunshots didn't wake him, but the tree falling on the bar.
Yeah. He's fine, not poisoned.
Yeah.
Probably didn't need to rush to the hospital like we once thought. Maybe that was part of John Voight's plan. Who fucking knows?
I mean, if he was breathing, maybe the wasp wasn't poisonous. They were just saying it.
Yeah. Well, because Mateo was the one, or John Voight. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric's great, you guys. He gets up. Just remember that.
So Ice Cube's all tied up in the trees. He's struggling. He's trying to get back to the boat, and then Carrie's body just kind of
floats up,
submerges right in between them, and Ice Cube.
Ice Poop. I'm so sorry, Ice Cube. I didn't mean to misspeak.
Ice Poo gets bitten.
Gets bitten.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a poisonous snake, so you can get bit.
No, you can get bit. It's not a fucking cobra or anything.
Yeah, that'd be. It's got teeth though.
But those things will squeeze the life out of you in 2 seconds, and it has a good hold on Ice Cube right here.
Yep.
But then J-Lo gets the gun and shoots it in the motherfucking head. And really gets it.
Exit stage right, Andy the snake.
Mm-hmm. For now.
No.
I know. Well, that one.
That one. Yeah.
So we find out there's more than one giant snake.
I actually thought, for a second, oh yeah, Ice Cube dies too. Because it looked like he was going to get it.
It looked like he was going to get it, but not Ice Cube.
So John Voight gets up again. The madness ensues and more fighting takes place.
Well, because he's pissed because they killed it.
Yeah.
It needs to be alive for him to get the money.
I don't know. You can still take the snake back.
I know. You definitely could still take it back and be like, would you look at this thing?
And then in comes white savior Eric Stoltz to hit the tranquilizer in the back of John Voight. And John Voight's not going down without a fight. Squeezing the tracheotomy.
So Eric is a little fucked up now because that really hurts that wound.
Well, then you would start fucking breathing blood, maybe.
Exactly. You'd think he'd start coughing.
That's right.
Again, they didn't really think his injury through too much.
They read about it once.
They read about it once. They did what I did. And I was like, it's fine.
Like now you need to get him to a hospital.
Yeah, now it's bad because he's bleeding again. Yeah. But you know what, Eric?
I don't think you could put him on his back. He might choke.
I know. I'd be But, Jennifer Lopez was like, let me clean it. Again, here we are in the LA Arboretum. Palm trees and all.
Are there palm trees? I don't think there are palm trees.
I see one in the back.
So they make it look like
they are moving, though.
They makes it look like they're moving.
Yes. So they got free.
They got free, and they come across what looks like a logging factory. Or I was going to say a mining,
old mining,
but I don't think it's the Amazon. So you're not going to mine
exactly, and also
a factory of some sort.
Yeah,
a fishing warehouse,
maybe abandoned factory on the Amazon.
Yeah. There's just prop guns and
axes around that try to make you think that no one's been here in years.
How do I know it's a prop gun? Because she picks it up with her pinky.
Yeah. It weighed 3 pounds. You guys, real guns weigh a lot.
So, continuity error. J-Lo shot Andy in the face, but she shoots the snake in the face like 4 or 5 times. She has a bolt action rifle. You need to literally bolt action it every time. You need to pull it back and reinsert it every time for it. She just shoots it in the... Oh, Mish. She didn't like that either.
Yeah, she was mad.
She shoots Andy in the face like 4 or 5 times.
She did.
Without reloading.
Yeah.
Without.
Right, Mishi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, mad. Good girl. We appreciate you, Mishi, for your voice.
So they're... Yeah, I think it's a logging facility.
Okay. So Ice Cube and J-Lo go inside, are looking around.
Oh, much like in the last episode, they go on a side quest for more fuel. I like that one.
Oh, yeah. That's right. They're still looking for that.
They're still looking for fuel.
The set of this old factory is... Well, they did find fuel, or they find barrels.
Well, they find something.
That would be so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
But, of course, there's nothing in these.
And all the time, they're like, well, what could have done this? And then they come across another snake skin.
Yeah. It's the snakes. The snakes took over this logging facility.
I mean, how do we know that there's another snake? Well, the movie's not over. That's how we know.
Exactly. You think they would have just been like, all right, we're out of here.
Roll credits.
But John Voight comes back because, again, they only tranquilized him and threw him in the water.
Yeah, so apparently he just...
Hoping he'd drown, but he didn't.
Well, all right, so Andy gets shot with the tranquilizer in the face in the beginning of the movie, but, knocks the trank out and apparently he's all good. So same thing happens to John Voight, I guess. But I'm like, does that not have an effect on you? Like,
what kind of tranks are these? Like,
yeah.
I know we saw it was reptiles, so maybe it's not... I don't know.
But I'm still like...
But still, it's like, it's a tranquilizer.
It has no effect on you unless it's inside you. Like, that's just weird. All right.
It is weird.
They didn't think that one through. So John Voight kind of ambushed them. Now he's tied them up with some duct tape. It looks like duct tape.
Yeah.
Some old cloth.
He drains monkey blood, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah, it's a little gruesome.
It's a little gruesome, and then throws the monkey blood on Ice Cube and J-Lo.
In slow-mo.
Which, gross.
Monkey blood.
Monkey blood.
I was gonna kill you, but...
Because I was gonna kill you, but John Voight knows that there's more than one snake.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden John Voight's got bangs for some reason.
He's in a black shirt now. He had a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Which is great for him. I'm glad that he found a clean shirt.
Yeah. So Paul Serrane's plan is basically going to use J-Lo and Ice Cube as bait and wait for the bigger snake to show up.
So I guess when we were talking about Andy beforehand, maybe he wasn't the 40-foot snake. Maybe he was only the 35-foot snake.
Exactly, because I guess this is the mama.
Yeah. This is
Sandy.
Sandy. Here she comes, you guys.
And she's much darker. She's like black and orange. This is where all that money went. Look at that. It still looks pretty good.
It doesn't look bad. Not at all. Yeah, she is darker. She's got more red.
Yeah. And she takes up the entire room. Like the way she was coming down, she's coming down from the roof, and she still hoisted herself, so she looks very, very large. Immediately wraps up
Ice Cube and J-Lo.
100%.
Doing what anacondas do, which is exactly this. They capture you to suffocate you and then eat you.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, John Voight comes in with the trap, wrapping up Sandy.
Sandy!
Which I don't think this would hold the fucking snake.
No,
this fucking loose
not this
fucking
giant snake.
No, not at all. And then he's planning to just shoot it. Which, do you need to shoot it in the face? Can you just shoot it anywhere?
If it's a trank, yeah.
Yeah, just hit it right there.
Just hit its body.
Hit its body right there.
It doesn't need to be in its fucking face.
Yeah. So Sandy tears open the trap, and I love this part. This was my favorite.
Oh yeah, the movement of the snake is great.
That's what they spent the money on.
That's what they spent the money on.
Make it that fluid.
It's very fluid. And I also like how Sandy has emotions. Because she's like, I don't like J-Lo and Ice Cube anymore. I'm going to go after John Voight because he was mean to me.
Yeah, because he's trying to wrap me up in a trap.
But this is where the CGI money went, because like that's great what you said about the fluid. The movement of this snake is accurate.
It's few and far between, but they know where they were going to spend their money on.
Yeah.
And
you get a lot of close-ups of its face.
Oof.
And it's strangling John Voight, and it's gross. Like his jaw pops out.
Oof. This is kind of our redeeming moment where we see John Voight slowly get eaten, but fucking.
And you get the inside of this snake's body, which I've always thought was cool.
Ooh. He gets a shit. He gets really like the squeezing, like all the blood vessels are popping in his face.
Yeah.
One of his eyes.
You truly see what anacondas do. This is how an anaconda eats. Not humans, but its prey.
Yeah. After this, it doesn't look great, but
yes,
we don't need it to.
We don't need it to.
Now all of a sudden, Sandy finds out she's not full. She's gonna want dessert, so she wants something off the menu, and it's Ice Cube and J-Lo. So they go running. Sandy goes after J-Lo first, and Ice Cube's just trying to hold it down on the other side. This was actually really, really good. It does have really, really good like horror elements to it.
Yes. I like the shots where you get with the point of view of the snake.
Yeah.
And also using a lot of real snakes, which they did.
Oh yeah. This was fun here. So Sandy comes Kool-Aiding through the room and throws
regurgitates John motherfucking Voight, and it's nasty.
He's missing an eye, and with his only eye left, he winks. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I could have swore that like she threw up John Voight and like swallowed him up again in like one motion, but it could have been a different movie. Might happen a lot in this podcast.
Yeah. Well, Mandela effect, whatever. We're like, I swear it was that.
Yeah.
I also thought that I thought differently as well when it came to that part.
In the 2 seconds they had to run away from the snake, Ice Cube and J-Lo have a plan put together. And she's just like, I'm going to lead it down this way. And then Ice Cube, I guess, pins the snake with an rock pick?
Rock pick? Yeah.
Oh.
The tail of it, so it can't move any further.
Yeah. And I guess this is how we're supposed to gauge the height of the snake?
Because
she goes up into the chimney?
Yeah, silo, chimney, whatever you want to call it.
Smokestack?
Smokestack. And then Ice Cube is also dumping all of the fuel that I thought they needed, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm gonna blow this fucking snake up, which cool plan. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, he used the old hose there as a fuse.
A fuse with the fuel to get. And the snake's getting loose, but I mean, Ice Cube's handling it really well.
Yeah, all of a sudden here's this magic clamp that's tied to the wall.
Yeah, he's like, I found this clamp. All right, cool. Like, J-Lo, come on, hurry up. You got to get out of there. Like, I've done my part. What are you doing?
J-Lo would have been dead. Like, no way. Like, in the meantime, where you find a clamp and you clamp she would have been got.
Yeah, I mean. And then she's at the top of this silo, chimney stack, whatever we want to call it.
This is a Universal show right here.
Yes, this is straight up. We're on it. Yeah, like, why isn't this a ride?
Yeah,
at Universal.
This is 100% looks like a set. It looks like we're on the side just watching it all happen.
Yeah,
from our tour boat.
Yes, we're like, oh, cool.
And on top of that, all that debris would have fallen on J-Lo.
Yeah,
killing her.
And the way she looked when she got up to the top and like looked out, it looked like she could have just jumped in the water, but maybe not.
Well, no, she could have, but she was scared to.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fine.
That's
great. I think that's just the animatronic.
The snake
that's
on
real,
fire.
Right?
The animatronic snake on fire is awesome.
Oh.
Because I'm assuming this was probably their last shots. Or like, fuck yeah, set it on fire.
Or you have one that's gonna be set on fire.
That too. Who knows
or you
how
can
much
use.
they spent.
Or you use alcohol. I think if you use alcohol, alcohol burns but doesn't burn you.
Yeah, it's a cool effect though. I like it and when you're watching it with sound on, the shrieking coming from this thing.
Yeah, because for a second I'm like, that looks really good. Like, how the fuck do they do that?
Yeah. These snakes shriek.
Oh, yeah.
Shriek, you guys. Like shriek.
I know how. I'm not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do it. But like when we say shriek, it's a motherfucking shriek.
It's a shriek. Yeah, it's a shriek. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it.
Thank you. You got it too.
Misha's like, what the fuck is this?
I know. Yeah. But they did it. They won.
They won. They set her on fire.
They set it on fire, and it...
I was like, no, she would have been fine. And then she pops up. Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Yeah. So, like, this charred snake now...
still looks fine, though.
And Ice Cube is still like, well, what the fuck? Like, I'm doing all the work here. And goes and just fucking axe to the head.
Oof. Yeah, that looked pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just takes a couple swings at the head. Sandy exits stage right. She is out. And then Ice Cube finally got to beat somebody up.
Yeah, that's where all of his rage was. He's like, just kill
he
this
really,
goddamn snake.
he didn't. Yeah,
He was chill this whole movie.
Yeah, you know, he keeps getting beat up by John Voight.
Yeah.
And then she walks over, J-Lo, to Eric Stoltz. Apparently, all of his blood got magically cleaned up.
Yeah, and he's also okay again. He wakes up and he's like, oh, wow.
He's like, hey, did
what
I miss
happened?
anything?
Did I miss anything? Oh my god, John Voight was like trying to kill you guys.
I had a dream that
like,
John
are you
Voight was
okay?
so...
And they embrace, they hug, because they're like, oh, it's over. You know, we lost a lot of people, however.
We lost everybody.
Yeah, so we gotta go back. We gotta go back and we gotta tell everyone that we lost some people. But you know what? Not before we get this documentary shot.
Yeah.
Because what happens?
The Shirishama appear out of the mist as they've gone through the waterfall and they've beat the warrior snake, just like in the folklore. And then they appear. And all of a sudden, Ice Cube's like, I'm going to get the camera.
Yeah, he goes, well, this is what we're here for. Let me grab my camera.
I would have been like, no, man. Like, that's it. I don't think we need to film these people.
Yeah, I'd be like, leave them alone.
Leave them alone. Like,
they clearly didn't want us here. So we need to go.
Can you honestly sell this knowing that 5 people have died in the making of this documentary?
No. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, this will get buried so fast.
Yeah. Like, maybe you can use the proceeds to go to the family.
Exactly. Like, but I was like, that's going to be a tough fucking sell.
That's going to be a tough sell. 100%.
And that's it.
Thank you.
That's it. Like, they literally think that they could still make a movie, which is wild. Oops, not everyone died? But they did.
Only our main characters survived. That's weird.
And so, that's okay. 3 of us. 3 out of the 8. We're good.
Oh, man. But you know what? Had some good deaths.
It did.
Had some good action. Still holds up. So, you know what? 50%? You know,
I think it's okay.
I think it gets a bump to 60%.
I'm gonna do 60 as well.
Yeah.
Andy the Anacondas.
Andy and Sandy the Anacondas.
Yeah.
I
enjoy it.
Yeah.
A quick 90 minutes.
I enjoyed talking more about it than I did watching it.
I agree. I don't think it's when I do watch it, because sometimes I do. Like if I see it on a Netflix or whatever on Tubi, I might do a quick revisit. But I never fully watch it.
I do want to kind of do a dive and like kind of want to see the other ones and see how bad they are.
Yeah. Again, I don't think I've done much of a deep dive into the other Anacondas.
You know, because like
definitely we got to check out that second one, Anacondas.
Yeah, because you know, much like the setup with the stereotype is usually the first one is the best one, and this is a low bar.
Yes.
So like we want to see how low.
So maybe there are some gems in there, and we just haven't discovered them.
Oh, a la Wrong Turn.
A la Wrong Turn. So there we go. I think we're gonna be doing some more Anacondas.
Maybe, yeah. For now, we'll do it on the side. On some dead air episodes. I'll do my research and we'll talk about it.
But 60% I think is good. I enjoyed it.
The fun fact, I was looking for information. Like nobody's done a dive on Anaconda movie. I couldn't find anybody to talk about anything. So we might be one of the first.
Okay, well then maybe we need to like run with this.
And there was a
J-Lo inspired us to get here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep going.
And if anything, we're just adding to the fuel now. We're just throwing off the algorithm that they're gonna remake another one with American cast, and we're gonna be like, "Fuck, why are we here?" 2 years from now, when we're doing the review on the American version of the Anaconda remake, we'll be like, I'm sorry, everybody.
Sorry, it was us.
We fucked up the algorithm by talking shit about this movie. I was looking for information on this movie, and I found a trailer for what I thought was Anaconda 2024, but they had just re-edited clips of the 2019-2020 version of Wrong Turn that we watched. That we never
the one that I didn't like.
The one that we never put out the episode because we watched it more than we talked about it. Like they took all the clips from that and then just threw in these clips from this Anaconda movie.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, wait, what?
You're like, my worlds are colliding right now.
I was like, what the fuck is happening here? So there's that out there if anybody wants to watch that.
Yeah, the most recent Wrong Turn I was very upset with.
It had some moments.
It had its moments, but it wasn't a wrong turn. That is what made me the most upset.
It should have been called something else.
It should have just been called something else. Because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't a wrong turn.
It had some, like the tree scene.
The fucking tree scene. That's all we'll say. If anyone's seen it, the tree scene was incredible. And
even though it takes us like 10 times to get to the ending, because
it started over many times. It felt like,
and like that last minute was enjoyable.
Yeah.
But all right, guys.
All right.
So tune in next time.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys for listening.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Follow us on TikTok for as long as it's around. American might ban it soon.
But always on Insta, always on YouTube. We're trying to up it. We're trying to do some more videos.
We also, if you prefer it on YouTube, we're mostly on Apple Podcasts. And we're mostly
Spotify
on
and Apple. But we're on YouTube as well.
We're on YouTube
Same thing,
as well.
Wrong Turn Podcast.
And like and subscribe and all the things. Let some friends know. If you like people just making asses of themselves, talking shit, that's us. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Good.